let's talk about our mission and how we're performing this year. Our mission has always been simple: to provide a world-class capital allocation vehicle that builds enormous wealth for our long-term partners. And we are having another great year. Through July, which will appear on your October 1st statements, the fund is now up 23% net. Our firm itself continues to grow. As mentioned, we started with less than 1 million back in 2011, and today we've grown to nearly 30 million under management at Peterson. And importantly, my family's money is completely invested alongside your own. So we are all seeing our capital compound, and that's our ultimate mission. But the process determines the outcome. So I'm going to share with you our very specific investment process, which is designed to create alpha at every step. How do we achieve? Please join me in visiting our alpha research platform that we built in-house. It's available at. So this is our AI research platform. As you visit the website, you'll see there's a few tools available. We have made them available to the partners in this community for free. You can go and run any report that you'd like. It's very simple to request this analysis. You just enter the ticker and the report will be generated in real time for you in 20 minutes. So as I mentioned in your report, you're going to find decades of consolidated data. And we have so much functionality and technology built into these AI. Here's a slide with all of the functionality. We're doing things like our 13F analysis and prioritizing our research. And we can now perform bottom-up valuation in 20 minutes on any firm that catches our eye. This jumps us ahead, weeks ahead. We can analyze every competitor. Starting October 1st, our structured dividend strategy for cash will become available to all through our independent entity, Titan Strategic Income. Long-term partners will remember that for several years we've been developing our augmented cash management strategy that allow us to wait more patiently, is to capture high premiums on stable quality businesses, effectively creating a synthetic dividend stream. In essence, we have found a way to earn high interest-like income on cash collateral utilizing short-term structured products and structured value techniques. So this opportunity exists in part because large institutions ignore this space. To validate this tight strategic income strategy, we backtested the structured dividend approach over the past decade. The results are very impressive. Specifically, by integrating our AI platform, Veritas Alpha, with our 13F analysis, we're able to identify many gems. Now, this is a recent analysis we've performed. We actually put this slide together earlier this week. These are firms that are widely admired by the value community. They're owned by some of the great investment professionals, and they have highly attractive fundamentals. And this intersection of the 13F and the bottom-up fundamental research at scale across 6,537 companies in the United States is notable because we created this slide last week, selected 10, and then it was announced 2 days ago that Warren Buffett has been buying 2 in secret, United Healthcare and Lennar. Out of the 10 that we selected, 2 were being bought. Now, this chart, available at Veritas Alpha, illustrates a very high return on equity with multiples so compressed you can hardly differentiate between them on the graph. This is highly unique. You can look through the 6,500 page report. It's hard to find a graph that looks quite like this. And as sentiment returns, we will see growth in earnings and we will see multiple expansion, which gives us potential for enormous growth in price. Alibaba is a case where we wanted to own the business, but we could also get a better deal on the stock when we apply structured value. So instead of buying the shares outright, we sold a series of puts as a tool to buy the equity, and that pays us up front for our commitment to buy the stock if the price declines further. And you can look and basically do this currently. This page on the left is just one page of data analytics within the analyst report. It contains 20 years of essential fundamentals, including the firm's yearly return on equity and ratio like price to book, price to sales, price to earnings, enterprise value to EBITDA, every value over the last 20 years. And if you look at the graph, this image on the bottom, it will easily show you how the firm is performing. A great firm is going to have very high sustainable return on equities with compressed fundamental ratios. You want to be a buyer when the fundamental ratios are at or near its 20-year low, and while the company continues to generate high returns. A cornerstone in our portfolio, and it's the epitome of a steady long-term compounder. A partner asked for some comments on a very different kind of hidden value, Naspers, which is essentially our gateway to Tencent. Naspers is an indirect stake in the Chinese tech conglomerate Tencent, the powerhouse behind WeChat, and we are accumulating this at a steep discount. Naspers is essentially a holding company based in South Africa, traded on the Johannesburg Exchange, and its crown jewel is the large ownership stake in Prosus, which in turn has a large ownership of Tencent. So this double holding structure has led to a remarkable pricing anomaly. The market values for Naspers are far below the market price of all of Naspers is far below its Tencent stake. Daily Journal is a very small company that was managed for 43 years by the one and only Charlie Munger. And when we looked very closely, it was clear that it had stacked all of the odds of success in their favor, and it was inside our own circle of competence. The company is packed with off financial statement value. It has culture, brand, competitive advantages, and outstanding business models that don't show up in the financial statements. And Daily Journal is a perfect example of something that's misunderstood and has hidden value. On the surface, it's a small California company. It looks like a boring newspaper publisher, but under the hood, it has a growing software business and a large investment portfolio. So no Wall Street analysts cover the firm, and the market doesn't appreciate what's inside a massive investment portfolio and a value software subsidiary called Journal Technologies. So how do we achieve this outcome confidently? It comes down to a disciplined investment process. And this process will lead to an outsized return. We've been following the same process since the inception of the fund. First, we study the top investors in the world. Every quarter, we pour over 13F filings where portfolios of investment legends like Warren Buffett and Li Lu are available, and they're making significant allocations. And given all of their resources and wisdom, it's worth taking notice. Academics have proved that this is advantageous, and it's a great starting position for your own research. So these legendary portfolio moves are public, and they often can spotlight a potential opportunity. It's like getting a stock tip from the smartest minds in finance. It's a great honor to provide actually introductions to our expanding team of experts. In a moment, you'll hear from them. We have Mackenzie and Tamana helping us out at Peterson Capital Management. We have Masout and Kutai working on the Talis Fund here in Istanbul, and we continue to run the Talis Turkey Value Fund very well. Nikhil will be managing the Titan portfolio, and then our lead developers, George and Yankun, have been instrumental in building the Alpha One AI technology that's available for you all at veritasalpha.com. Of course, we'd also like to thank our trusted service providers who keep Peterson Capital Management entities running smoothly behind the scenes. The partners will recognize our tax and audit firm, Spicer Jeffries, and our fund administrator, Eulish and Associates. Yes, in fact, they're selling and trimming their position strategically, and they're using the collateral or their cash that they obtain to buy back stock, which will actually force the gap to close over a long period of time. So they don't need to check with